Oh, Mercedes, you got what I need. You give me all the warning lights. I forgot my keys. Gosh damn it. All right. You got what I need. Let me see those warning lights. Oh, there they are. You said it's temporary. You effing lied to me. Shut up. Alright, today I am going to replace my shock. It's been bad for worse than Michael Jackson bad for a couple weeks now. It just drives. That's gonna clear. It's gonna be pretty close. It just drives freaking terrible. It's like the rear, for some reason, like works corner to corner or something. It's the hydraulic ABC suspension. So the right front's broken, so the left rear, I guess, just doesn't get any pressure. So it's like super, it just sucks. It sucks. Every time I drive, it just says, F you, I'm gonna do burnouts. And it does burnouts. And it barely moves. Can't get it out of its own way because there's no trap. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, first things first, disconnect. This is what's bad on this. So it has 3 wires. It is a potentiometer inside the shock that you cannot replace. Or I cannot replace. Maybe you can. I don't know. I didn't have an extra one to try to take apart. So you have your 5 volts in, your ground, and your 5 volts out. So what I'm getting is 5 volts in, 5 volts out. Or no volts out. Just depends how it's feeling. So it's either feeling saucy and says, hey, it just doesn't work. So it's got that bad. There's no in between. So when you have a potentiometer, when it changes, your voltage should change. This one's either all or nothing. I've checked ground, it's good. This is good. I've tricked it with a resistor to get it working for a little bit. So I know that all of my wires are good from here to the ABC module. So now I'm just going to replace the strut. Join me on my journey of replacing the mystical. What's it called? ABC shock. Alright, let's get started. Well, I'm too pathetic to remove this wheel. God damn. Alright, that was a bit rusty, huh? They alright a lot there in this whole thing, I'm gonna say. Alright. Alright, here we have a pretty basic S-Class suspension. You have your upper control arm and you have your ABC line right here. So this is my ABC strut here with the torn up bushing. We would take this off, to drop this down. I'm going to detach the shock, but first I have to release the pressure from the shock, which should be on the line. It's probably under the belly pan, so I'm going to find the release line for to release the pressure. because it still has pressure, it's just not working right because it lifts itself up and down. I had a really bad oil leak because my oil filter gasket, or for the oil filter housing, the gasket tore. So that's that. So under here, let's see if we can get a whole glimpse of this. So I pulled the belly pan off, and there you have like for bleeding brakes. So I'm going to go ahead and put a pan under it, crack that loose, and it's going to release the pressure in the shock. This is an 11 millimeter. I'm going to be doing an ABC flush soon, because that is dark. That's like black. So now I can push this shock up and down. I'm just going to leave that open for now, in case I gotta push the shock up a little further. This is 18 millimeter. You want to release, you want to unplug, not unplug, but pull these free like this, because if you just let go like I did, you have potential of breaking your lines. This brake line's not under much stress at all. So now I have to remove or back out these Allens, because they go through the center and then they tighten onto the shock. They are 5 millimeters. Let's see if I can get this. So we got these under here. Now this isn't the same for all of them. This is just for my S55, which I don't. That's actually a lot. It might be like this. It's kind of hard to see on there. Essentially, I'll take it all the way out so you can kind of get a visualization. So there's on the lower control arm, there's a nub sticking off. And then you have these other ones that are threaded into it, into the bottom of the shock. That look like little bullets. So they go through and then they cinch down on this little, there's this area where it goes in. So you don't have to take them all the way out. I just took that one all the way out just to show you guys. You break it loose, and then you'll see. Let me try to get it. There you go, just like that. I mean, these are super easy. It's just, and then the next thing it's going to be a pain in the butt is the line. So now that I have that off, try to cut those noises out here. So
So there's the fitting for the.
So it's kind of like when you remove your air fitting from your air gun. So you just pull back
this collar, and then just kind of hope it comes out. It's really kind of tough to get out of there sometimes.
Or it helps too. There we go. That one's actually super easy.
So I just pulled back on the collar, and then push the hose off. Now I gotta lower the car a little, or actually, I gotta pop the hood because it's shut.
There it is in all its glory. So just take this off here. Hopefully, real easy like. Nope, of course not. The thing that sucks about these is you can't do anything. Like, they kind of screw you. There's no like remanufacturing them. That's why a lot of people just ditch this and go back to just go to springs. Like just coil on spring. I mean, I don't even know like. Because if you can't replace, because you can't replace this upper bushing here. So that's like the shitty part. Somebody can, I can't. Did hear one of my nuts. one of the nuts for the shock fell off and fell to the who knows where. I don't even know what to do with the strut nuts. Strut nuts. I think that's how it was.
reattach this line here, just be super extra. Let me get it on before I start talking. Okay, get it on. Ugh. Once you clip this line back on, you just gotta make sure, like, really yank on it, because everybody always thinks they got it on, and you don't, and then you fire up the car and it pops off and you make a mess. I can't even get this thing lined up, Jesus. Crotch. Don't forget to tighten your. Also, don't forget to tighten this line, because, or this bleeder. You'll be paying for that later. I try to edit up as best as I can. Definitely time. God, I can't talk today. Definitely time to change this. Yeah, there's a hole in this. Time to change my ABC fluid. The car is going to be stanced the F out.
probably wonder why I torque wheels and never anything else. Because you saw how much of a pain in the ass mine was to get off. Because of the rust. I mean, you could clean the rust off your hub, but you never get it perfect. A lot of people use grease or whatever, some kind of lube, but it never goes on all the way with the gun. So if you, I always torque wheels because I don't want my wheels falling off. So it's not even all the way on the ground yet either. Looks good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and fire the car up. Hopefully I don't need a scan tool and it just goes up. If I do, I'm gonna cry. Don't mind my sobbing. Let's see. Well, sounds like a good giant mess. Yep. Well, something didn't seal right. Dang it. Like I'm good. Dang, that made a giant mess. Oh, man. Fail. Oh man. Alright, let's see what I messed up. I'm pretty sure I didn't get the line in right, like I said. Those like psychedelic lights. And then move the wheel. Watch how much difference my lights have. Let there be light. I think what happened was, thought I got it clipped in, but get you in here and see what happened. So I think what happened was I pulled the collar back and I thought it clicked in, but it didn't click in. I was just pushing it up against it, like if you try to plug an air hose into a compressor or your air hose without pulling the collar back. Pretty sure that's what I did. Yep, just blew that thing right out. Okay, now, before when I turned the little thing you pull back, it was really smooth. Now it has like a ratchety feel. Maybe that means it's locked in. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the wheel back on. Go for round 2. What do you guys say? So. I'm going to go the blocks for easy for suspension. I went back in front and cam bolting on. Also brush your nose. So what I'm going to do is I work on you pay for revealing. You can see why, I'm sure it's recording, why ABC was so cool back in its heyday. You saw how fast it goes up and down. I mean, air can do that too, but you gotta fill the reservoir. And this thing has a constant pump that's going and also runs the power steering, but I mean, it can make changes in seconds. Like, if you look up rodeo mode on these, you can see, but I'll show you up and down, but you can just go up and down forever. With air, you kind of got to wait for your compressor to run and blah, blah, blah. I mean, this thing has a lot more moving parts, which sucks, a lot more for failure. But I'll show you up and down how fast it is. Not sure if the camera caught that, but you can do it over and over and over and over. You don't have to wait for it to recharge, you know, blah, 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 get the air going. So that's it for this episode. Oh, thank God. I mean, it was so bad driving this thing. I couldn't stand it. It just drove extremely, extremely terrible. I think I'll just leave it in the garage. I'll pull that wagon in, never mind. Yeah, I got a garage. I can't even park my own cars in it. I was fixing people's crap. Alright guys, so that wraps this episode up. Whatever video, replaced my shock. Super easy-ish when you don't mess up the connection. So I will see you guys I'm gonna finish up that A4 and I'll just finish recording that and then probably just do a whole thing on that instead of whatever. All right, peace out.